guys, Paul here, Lawn Life Mowing 19, and today I'm going to show you guys how to change out your exmark exhaust. Mine was going bad, and it was to the point to where it needed to be replaced, and that's what I'm doing today. So let's dive in. All right, guys. So here you can see I have the exhaust off already, the muffler, and now I'm going to be showing you step by step here. Right now I'm putting on the bracket, which is going to mount to our muffler. It's 2 bolts, one on each side, and it's a 13mm wrench. Alright, so we got the exhaust and the heat shield. And I'm showing you that going over the O2 sensor, which is important to make sure that all that stuff lines up, because later on in the video you'll see me hooking up the O2 sensor through that, but you just want to make sure that that's all lined up properly before, that way it goes in easier for you. And here, this didn't come with the kit, but I'm going to reuse this because it's still usable, and I'm just making sure that it's going to line up. Alright, so I'm going to put the exhaust in here, and next I'm going to take the 2 flanges that come in the kit and put those over the exhaust holes for the exhaust to mount before I mount the exhaust. Also, making sure that it lines up well and that the flanges aren't blocked by the holes. After we make sure we got everything lined up, we got 4 bolts that are going to be going on each side of the exhaust pipe. There's 2 bolts on each pipe, a total of 4. And the size of each socket that you'll need is a 13mm. And I'm just make sure, one thing you want to make sure is that the flanges are lined up when you're tightening them, so you're not blocking any holes. One thing I will say, when you do the 2 bolts underneath on the bottom of the exhaust pipes, it's easier to go from underneath than try to go from the side or up top, because it's not much room and it's kind of a tight space. So that's one thing I would recommend doing, is going from the bottom. Once you get all 4 bolts tight, I recommend going around one more time and just making sure that they're all snug, because the engine does do a lot of vibrating and you want to make sure that you get them on fairly tight. Alright, so next I'm gonna put the bolts underneath on, and it's 2 bolts with in my case I have a washer for the cage around the muffler, but the bolts itself come with the kit, and they are 10 millimeters socket and or wrench. And yeah, this part right here, it was I had a little bit of trouble getting them to go, because I should have put them on before I did the bracket, but in my case I didn't, and it took me a minute, but it does work this way. I would just recommend it because it would be easier. And then here you'll be seeing I'm putting there's 2 also that go on the top, and they're also the same size bolts, which is 10 millimeter, which they go on fairly easy. After we put the 2 bolts on top in, it's time to put in the O2 sensor. And that's that there I'm showing you guys. I recommend screwing it in like this first, because the clip in, if you clip the clip in first, it's hard to twist the O2 sensor into the muffler. And after you get that clip in, there's a bolt bracket on top that needs to be put back on, and that is a 8 millimeter wrench, and that's it. After that, you just need to tighten up your O2 sensor and clip it back in, and you're good to go. And that's it.
All right, guys, there you have it. The replacement for the Exmark Lazer Z muffler. Pretty simple, straightforward, just a matter of lining up the nuts and bolts. Sometimes you have a little problems lining things up, but that's here or there. So hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and happy mowing.